November 20th. My name is William Clark, and I was invited to a party by Matthew Hurley. It's my first party in the new class. Smells nice out here. What? Where am I? Who are you?
She had her face.
No, it couldn't have been her. I've never even... Hello, and don't worry, this is not an ad. I just wanted to say a couple of things before the video started. Namely, that this video was largely unscripted, so I could very possibly have a lot of information incorrect. And if it is, make sure you tell me in the comment section so I can ignore you and everybody else can see how wrong I was. Aside from that, this game is called Who's Lila? It is an incredibly interesting game. If you're the type of person that likes to watch Let's Plays, or if you're not a broke bitch and you have a little bit of money you can spend on it, I'll link the Steam page down in the description. I'll also link ManlyBadAssHero's playlist on it, if I'm able to. You can do either of those things at your own discretion. Oh, and also, season's greetings. It should be Valentine's Day by the time this video comes out, and if this is posted any day after that, I hope you got at least a little ass. Anyways, enjoy. Welcome to Who's Lila? Now you might be asking yourself, who's Lila? The short answer is this is Lila. And if you ever confuse her with this woman, don't worry, he did too. First things first, this is William, but if you were paying attention, you should already know that. This guy has a lot of problems, one of which being that he's incapable of showing human emotion in the same way as you or I. You see, when this guy wants to make a face, it doesn't just come naturally to him when he's feeling an emotion. He has to make a physical effort to make it look like he's actually feeling the emotion he's trying to convey to another human being. Because if he doesn't, he's just going to end up looking like an absolute freak. And you see, recently, Will's developed an even bigger problem than his lack of human emotions. You see, he actually fell in love. Well, that's not it. He actually, he joined a cult. Well, that's not all. There's also when he got arrested. He got in a fight. He kicked that guy's ass. He got shoved off a roof. He did whatever this is. Banished this guy to the Shadow Realm. Killed this lady. Got shot. What the fuck? At this rate, I'm starting to think it might be easier to just name the things he hasn't done. Here, let's see. Got laid. Damn. None of that's important. At least not for now. Who is important is this lady, Tanya Kennedy. She's the valedictorian of the school that Will barely attends, and she's dating this guy, Michael Graves. And in case you weren't paying attention, Tanya's the girl that Will kissed. And instead of trying to explain this woman's whole life story to you, I'm just gonna let her do it for me. It's okay. What about you? You mean my upbringing? Well, nothing special, I guess. I had a nice childhood. 2 sisters, private school, so on. So you were a talented kid even back then? Yeah. It's funny. My parents used to call me a prodigy. It kinda sucked though. How's that? It's hard to explain. Everyone seems to expect great things from you, like, all the time. And when you fail, it's like the end of the world because it's as if you betrayed their faith in you. I know it sounds dumb, but it feels terrible, honestly. That made a lot of sense. I don't know. I still kind of feel like a failure. Why? You're literally one of the best students at school. I don't know. It's like, even when I do something right, win an award or something, I just get anxious that the next thing will fail, and it just never seems to end. Sorry about all that. Honestly, I'd kill for a cig right now. Smoker, huh? Uh-huh. Makes dealing with the stress easier. Well, I was quitting anyways. Mike hates smokers. That's kind of manipulative, no? Her expression suddenly turns bitter. Don't think I'm not noticing what you're trying to do. Look, Mike's an awesome guy, and I love him, alright? You have no right to stick your nose into other people's lives. You don't know anything, alright? And you know, how about you fix your own shit first? Like your stupid face expressions, and how you act like a complete dunce when there's other people around. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm a monster, aren't I, Will? Come on. Tell me you think I'm a disgusting human being. I don't think you're disgusting. I just don't understand you. Makes sense. I can't understand myself either sometimes. It's hard. Yeah, well, your friends are there to help you. Well, they don't really know me. Even Martha doesn't. What about Mike? She laughs. Are you joking, Will? Jeez, of course not. I think I'd like to know you. She laughs again. Trust me. You don't. You really don't. I don't deserve all that anyways. You're just wasting your time trying to be my friend, Will. I don't really deserve all that. My friends are too sweet. I thought Graves was perfect for someone like me. It's a shame he turned out to be such a wonderful guy. Can I say something? I hope you won't be offended, but really the world isn't revolving around you, Tanya. The way you beat yourself up is not going to help anybody. Your friends may not be able to understand what you feel. I know I don't understand. But we're all ready to be by your side no matter what's happening behind the mask you seem to wear. Her voice cracked. We're back, Will. And you might be wondering why Tanya's so upset about the fact that Michael's a wonderful guy. See, Michael's one of those bad kids. And I don't mean like Michael Jackson bad, but I mean like weakly aggravated assault charges bad. And this is the reason why. This is Datadog. Datadog is a UIWAM, which stands for an ultra-influencing work of any media. Now, because both of those are a mouthful, I'm going to be calling those UI WAMs from now on. You know what, actually, fuck that. I'm just going to call them WAMs. Aside from it being unironically a meme, the closest thing I could probably compare this to in real life would be Doge, and its development into Dogecoin. What I'm pretty sure devolved from just a normal picture of somebody's dog into the face for a cryptocurrency market for a bunch of incels. Which is like, kinda what happened with Datadog. You see, the only difference between Doge and Datadog is the fact that, in reality, with Doge, this poor fucking dog slowly devolved over the coming years into the face of that cryptocurrency market because of the right-wing incels who got their hands on it. With Datadog, the right-wing racists got their hands on it. But I'm sure, you know, they did normal things with it, and they didn't, like, they started killing people. Black people, to be precise. And the person who made it. It was probably a few more than those two, but it's all we got. And by now I'm sure you're asking, what the actual fuck does any of that have to do with Lila? And we're getting into it, calm down. But now, it's time to actually start the game. The game starts in William's apartment, and he's immediately introduced to you, and it's explained that he has troubles expressing emotion. You're then instructed to go to the bathroom to practice your faces for the day. Afterwards, you receive a strange phone call.
Hey man, why aren't you answering the phone they gave you? Anyways, have you heard? Father Lawrence is dead. Meet me at the train station.
Which is immediately followed up by another call.
Thank you. Let me back in.
After those strange calls, you're instructed to collect your trash and take it out to the bins, after which you're instructed to make your way to school. Although, if your curiosity gets the better of you, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from seeing the train station. For plot's sake, and because it's the thing written in the journal, we're gonna go to school. At school, you run into a lot of Will's friends who reveal that Michael is looking for Will, and that Tanya has been missing for almost a week. After Will's friends reveal that Martha has been speaking to police officers and the principals, your new objective is to find her classroom. Once pointed to the room by a fellow student, you steal her keys from her bag and get her address from the teacher's computer, where you're then instructed to head to the roof. This is Martha. She's one of Tanya and Michael's closer friends. She was also at the party where you and Tanya met, and she just so happened to see you guys walk away together. Once you start speaking with Martha, William starts demanding answers. But before he can get them all, Michael arrives. And here is where the game can start going a couple different ways. But your first time through, it might look something like this. After getting your ass kicked, your next objective is to head to Martha's apartment. Once there, you realize that the front door is locked, so you have to wait for another tenant to let you in. Once inside, the tenant will stop you and ask you if you live there, which Will tries to lie about, claiming he does. Unfortunately, this condo building appears to be a tightly knit community, so conventional lying just won't do it. After using the autosave like the game instructs, there's a couple of different ways you can get past this guy. But this time, William's gonna look disgusted, so he pivots his story into saying that he's a rat exterminator, and he's here to help one of the tenants in room 97. The man claims he'd like to contact the tenant to make sure your story checks out. If you smile, Will be eager to do so, disarming the man. And some may be worried that he claims that he's going to be checking the room in 30 minutes, but it's okay, because Will gave him the wrong room number. Now that we're in Martha's apartment, the only thing to do now is wait. Underwear drying. They produce an indecent smell of wet fabric. Does this girl have any shade? Blue Velvet by David Lynch, the only cool thing in this apartment. Martha's bed. The sheets are unmade. Such a bad girl.
The name is Lila.
Now I'm sure by now you have a million questions. Don't worry, they do too.
Ready? Hey, Will. I'm Detective Hutchins. We talked a couple hours ago. You remember? Now, William, I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions, okay?
Okay.
Do you know why you're here?
No, I don't.
Alright. Now, you are William Clark, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
You've been read your rights before, right?
No, never.
Probably seen it in the movies.
He reads you your rights.
Oh, forgot to ask you. Do you want water or anything?
No, thank you, sir.
Alright, now, Will, I have this photograph here. Do you know who this is in the photograph?
Yes, that's Tanya Kennedy.
I see you're smiling.
Yeah, it's just, she's a nice girl, I guess.
What was your relationship with her?
We didn't know each other well.
I see. Could you elaborate? Did you just say hello to each other? Did you talk sometimes?
We talked, yeah.
What did you talk about?
I don't know, music and stuff? I don't remember, just normal stuff.
Do you have any mutual friends?
I'm not sure. Well, Martha Jennings is one of my friends. I think her and Tanya were rather close.
So Martha Jennings is your friend. Alright. Now, Will, you've said before that you weren't too close to Miss Kennedy, correct?
Yes.
Thing is, we've already talked to some of your friends today. Martha Jennings was one of them. They seem to tell me that you and Tanya have become rather close some time ago. Could you tell me why they told us so?
I don't know.
Will, we need you to be very genuine. The stakes are high. You see, the real reason we invited you here is because Tanya Kennedy is missing. She's been missing for 5 days.
She is?
Yes, I thought you knew that. At least that's what your friends say. Why didn't you tell the truth, Will?
I don't know.
Alright. You know, it's not about us making you a victim, buddy. What we need is to find Tanya. Will you help us?
Sure, I will.
Now please tell me more about your relationship. How did you two meet?
We met at a party at Matt's place. You tell him how Will met Tanya for the first time.
I see. So you two liked each other, didn't you?
I guess so, yeah.
In a romantic way?
I'm not sure.
Did you have sex?
No.
Your friends state otherwise.
They aren't my friends.
Come again?
They aren't my friends. They hate my guts, all of them.
How come?
I don't know. It's because I'm different.
In what way are you different?
You know in what way. I don't care about the stupid stuff they talk about. I don't wear fancy clothes. I'm smart. Finally, you know, my face.
I see. So how does this hate express itself?
Well, for the most part, they'd just act like I wasn't there. You know, they'd, call me names. Freak, weirdo, classic stuff, school kids.
What else would they do?
Hide my stuff, destroy things I own, steal from me. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to frame me for something they'd done to Tanya.
They were pretty sure when they said it was you. We're good at detecting lies. We've talked to Martha Jennings.
She's lying, I'm telling you. She always done that. Let me guess, they all just sat there with their stupid faces as if they were worrying. And maybe some tears, eh? No fucking way it's me. It's bullshit.
Will.
I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking murdered her, like those data weirdos. Hell, some of them could be part of that data group.
No, calm down. Calm down, William. I hear you. There's no need to be agitated. We're here to talk and figure all those things out. You do realize that they're all friends with Michael Graves, and that the data are right extremists, so it's basically nonsensical for any of them to be a part of it. Peculiar that you know that group at all. Where have you learned about it?
The internet. Where else?
Alright, this isn't very important anyways. Let's change the topic for now. Now, I'm not going to grill you about this, but I know you've been part of a certain gathering, the Lawrence fraternity. Ring any bells?
Yes, sir.
Is this something you are comfortable talking about?
Yes, sir. Even if I wasn't, you'd interrogate me anyways, wouldn't you? So please, ask away.
Right. Now, I'll just need a couple of details. First, when was it exactly that you enrolled?
June 11th, sir. But I've been helping out Father Lawrence for a while before I was actually initiated.
Alright. Then, what was the mission of the group? Did you try to convert as many people as possible?
Not really, sir, actually. It seems that only Father's closest circle is allowed in. As for the end goal, I was never told what it was, or if there even was one. It seems I was too low of a tier. No chance to get higher in the hierarchy now since
The fire? Tell me more about that, please. You weren't present when it happened, right?
Yes, sir.
Why? It must have been a group meeting.
I was at home, ill, on migraine.
Is there anyone to confirm that?
Yes, actually. Miss Hutchins, our concierge, was kind enough to check on me.
Oh, so Dorothy's... Alright, we'll check on that. Now, William, I will leave the room now, and another officer will come talk to you.
Alright, now I don't have much time. My name is Detective Fitcher. Spit it out, kid. You know why you're here, right? This is where the part you don't like begins.
I still don't know why I'm here.
Well, I think you do. Let me refresh your memory. Tanya Kennedy, your former friend, she's missing, alright? Now we know for sure you have something to do with it. There's no question there, so you better start talking.
What should I talk about?
First of all, when did you last see her?
I don't remember. It must have been more than a month ago.
More than a month, huh? Save those fairy tales for Ted. When?
I told you, about a month ago.
And where was that?
We hung out near my house.
Where? The exact place, please.
An abandoned building. It used to be a condominium, I think.
Weird place to hang out at, huh? What did you two do there?
I don't know, we just hung out and talked.
What was your relationship with the girl?
But Officer Hutchins has asked that already.
Look here, buddy. I don't think you get what's happening right now. You're in a police office and I'm interrogating you. You're in big trouble already. So I recommend you just answer my questions and stop fucking around. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you one more time. What was your relationship with Tanya Kennedy?
We were friends. His face changes.
So,
He
friends.
seems to be lost in thought.
Now listen carefully. We have found a female torso in the trash near your apartment. What?
He ignores your reaction.
The boys are doing a DNA test right now, but I'm pretty sure we both know who this torso belongs to.
I don't.
Did you do it? I'm just straight up asking you because there's no doubt in my mind about whose work it is.
I didn't do it.
You do realize she has a family, right? Don't you want her mom and dad to have at least a little comfort in knowing where the remains of their girl are?
Are you sure it's her?
Are you stupid? I told you we know. Now tell me where the other parts are. You hit them well, didn't you? But you got lazy with the last one. I didn't think we'd find it. Did you use that saw in your apartment?
Used? Used for what?
Don't play dumb. If we find even a little bit of DNA on that saw, and I'm sure we will, then you're fucked, William. Because even if you wash the blood off, you still have little things, like fibers. Also, if the bone was cut, we can identify the exact instrument just by the marks on the bones. Absolutely precise. We can find out everything up to the specific model used. Might as well tell me how you did it. Please. Will, it's no use now. I'll tell you something an old friend of mine used to say. Of all the people in the world, the best and the worst are drawn to a dead dog. Most turn away. Only those with the purest of heart can feel its pain. I know you weren't a bad guy, William. I know you can feel the pain of others, can't you?
I didn't do it, sir.
William Clark, you don't get it, do you? Will, friend, buddy, we have the evidence, you little fucker. You fucked up. You fucked up and left your fingerprints all over her. Well, guess what? That's enough information for us to deduce who the culprit is.
You remember him talking about the DNA test not being done, and you made sure William wore gloves. It's not me.
I told you, we know it's you. It's not a question of who, but how and why. Tell me, buddy, why'd you do it?
I didn't do it.
Then who did, Will?
I don't know.
You don't know, do you? Fortunately, Will, there's two ways this can go. First, you can stop fucking around and tell me you're trying to protect. Second, you get to be the one to hold full responsibility. And let me remind you, we're talking first-degree murder here, William. Are you sure you don't want to open up? Just tell me the
This
name,
might be
buddy.
your chance. It's... The name is... What's... It seems you were talking about something. It's warm. But aren't you Lila? Huh? What was that you said? Aren't you Lila? What? If it's a joke, I don't get it. Who's Lila?
So, Will, the bruises you showed us earlier, that's Michael Graves who gave it to you?
Hey, Ted. I think they want to see you.
Uh-oh. Fisher, we've got news. There's been a murder at Birthwood.
No way. Is it the one we talked to? Today?
We don't know if it's Miss Jennings yet. A tenant called in. His name was Murray, I think.
Hey, kid. We have a lot to talk about.
Is it just taking a while? Like, oh wait, no, it's not over. Detective Yu. Nice to meet you, Lila. I am Special Agent Yu, FBI. Do we know each other? Oh yes. We've most certainly met before. I must have forgotten. What do you want? You see, I've been studying you very intently, Lila. I too have questions I'd like to ask you. What for? At the end of the day, I'd like to find out who you are. You amuse me, Detective. You really are nothing like those fools. You seem to keep your eyes open. Oh, I expected an exquisite feast. Please, ask away. We aren't going to talk here, Lila. Meet me at a familiar place. A place you use for saving. Our menu? I'll be waiting.
By now, I'm sure you have a million questions. And thankfully, now that we have you, it's time for some answers. After getting an ending, you might notice an achievement labeling a tarot card. These cards are gathered in Yu's office where him and Lila have an after-action review of any and every ending you get. But none of these cards will make sense on their own, so let's go get a few, starting at the train station.
Hey, kid.
Hi, Strupnev.
I can't see you too well. Can you move closer?
He smells weird. A little like old people smell. Something else, like black tar.
Kid, don't you want to ask me something?
You called me on the regular phone, didn't you?
Whatever. No use in the throwaways anymore. Kids' toys. Will, there's no one left now but me. And you. I've seen fires in my life, but that one's just fucking insane. Nothing's left there.
What did we do without Father Lawrence? Did you leave anything behind?
Is she talking with you?
What?
She stopped talking to me after the fire. Lila did. Is she still talking to you?
No.
So you two then. Guess we're in the same boat, kid. Fuck. After I got out of the slammers, I haven't had any luck. With anything, pretty much. I thought I had someone left. It's you and me now, William. Worm. What did you say?
Nothing, Strupnev.
Must be in my imagination. He left something, by the way. Lawrence left something for you in the depot.
A depot?
Just over the bridge. The old train depot.
What did he leave?
You'll know it when you see it. Where the fuck are you? William. You thought you could fool me, didn't you? Lila. I know you can hear me. Please. You are my life. I don't get why you choose that fucking kid. Please. 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 I just want to see you one more time. Maybe he captured you with this dirty body. Did he do that to you, my princess? Don't worry. I'll free you from him. And you can have me instead. You'll be nice and cozy. Nice and cozy right here. Kid. How dare you fucking steal her from me. I'll cut her a way out. I'll carve her out of you.
For me.
It's her again. What? So you wanted to see so bad? Well, feast your eyes through Nev. She hid in the boiler again. Well, are you sated now? Oh, Lila. You are such a naughty, naughty girl. I do not desire to feed for now. The abode that you seek, it has a numerical value assigned to it. The number is 43033. Fucking Lawrence and William is hitting this one so well. Now, Lila, your endeavors amuse me. But now it's time for us to cease.
After completing that ending, there will be a new address at the bus stop, and if you travel there, you will quickly realize that this is the base of operations for the Lawrence fraternity. Or, at least was. You see, this is a flashback, and you're back to playing Will. Actual Will. And he's here to investigate the site of the fire where the Lawrence fraternity was killed, where there is only 2 rooms, an empty room with a modem on a table, and a room with a computer. Unfortunately, the computer's password locked. But if you look around a bit, you can find these books that explain how to contact him.
Some pages were untouched by fire. For us, the most comfortable way to contact him was by using a special yantra. For beginners, an 8th tolle of the Tef mushrooms is often required. However, experienced members of the group may manage without them. Instruction: position the yantra so its center is at eye level and comfortable distance away. Sit with your spine straight. Breathe in and out slowly until your breath flows naturally. 2. Look at the center of the dot, which represents the unity that underlies all diversity of the physical world. Now allow your attention to expand, engulfing the outer square of the yantra. Do not move your eyes from the dot, however. Gradually expand your attention across the sacred figure, and as you reach the outer contour, you will already be unreadable. You know, I should make a... Can I save here? Yeah, I can. I'll come back to that. Oh yeah. Cool. A statue of sorts. It looks familiar. It looks so familiar. It may be made of wax, so lifelike it is. Does it talk? It looks so familiar. His face is like a mirror, isn't it? You cannot help but gaze at it. There are no words spoken. All happen in instants. How amusing. A vessel for my kin has come on its own. What does the vessel want? With the first movement of your mind, the creature seems to have understood the whole of your desires. It is known. We will help you understand. Nothing is required in return. We don't need your compliance. You may now seek help from my servitor, the Daemon. You must acquire him separately. He has uploaded his addition to this reality. I shall give you a link to his location. Listen carefully. Storage steam-powered app of Lila Daemon. The link is now on your clipboard. If you still want to hear from Lawrence, call him on the phone. Daemon will know the number. Would you let him see the phone, Rhoda?
And now I know we were just told to use this demon tool to call Father Lawrence. We're gonna put a hold on that for a second. You see, what you just saw was the forest. The forest, at least from what I can gather, appears to be a dreamlike realm that the Emperor primarily resides in. There's two ways to gain access to the forest, the first being what you just saw, and the second is practicing your base jumping skills. How do you do that, you might ask? Well, you see, there's actually three ways that the fight with Michael can go. As you already know, you could get your ass beat. You can also sneak Michael by acting like a little bitch, making Michael think that you're defenseless, giving Lila the upper hand. But what we really care about is getting shoved off this roof. Wait, what? But first, for what we're about to watch to make sense, I just need to grab two quick endings and have a little conversation with you.
Boiler room's off limits, bud. I'm only joking. Hello, Lila. Did you get his call again?
What's it to you, old man?
No reason to be so hostile, Lila. After all, you are the one who came here. It's tricky not to get lost in the boiler rooms. But with years you start hearing a divine melody. Flutes and trombones and saxes from beyond. It always comes from the place you seek. Listen for it. Just stand beside each door and listen. By the way, what are you planning to do about the lady? The lady that hides in boilers?
Don't talk of what you know nothing about, you old fool. Welcome to the boiler room, where our new objective is to find our second caller. In case you're confused, this is the second caller.
Lila, please. I beg you, let me back in.
And thankfully, both endings we need to get here are incredibly easy to obtain, as there's only two choices to make. You see, as you aimlessly wander around in the boiler room, you will eventually run into the Empress again, in which case you're prompted to close your eyes, lest you end up like Struthnev. If you don't do so, it unsurprisingly results in the Turo death, and if you do so, you continue on as normal. Hello, William. You need to stop calling me on the phone. It's useless. Well, I'll only say this once. Your tricks are laughable, and even with her help, you're not getting back. Did you hear what I said?
So let's go let's talk to Dr. Yu. You found me. Good job. Hello again, Detective. Now, Lila, let me tell you what I've gathered so far. So, as far as I'm aware, you are the one responsible for the deaths of 2 girls. Now, Tanya Kennedy was the girl that looked just like you. So why is that? I guess we may never know, Detective. Well, if that's the game you want to play, let's do it. I'm a sucker for mysteries like yours. Is that so? The way your story goes doesn't seem to make sense, so? There seems to be no continuity. Half the time, I'm not even sure whether it's today, tomorrow, or a month ago. It's delightful to see your optimism, Detective. Oh well, enough chit-chat. Please, pick a card.
Death.
Are you afraid of death?
I think death means different things to us, you. I won't die if you shoot a gun at me, but a full understanding of my story, a loss of interest that closure brings, that's... well, never mind, forget it. What about you?
I'm not sure. I've died many times, but all I was met with was a different dream.
Along your path, have you ever stumbled upon a man with 6 arms and snake eyes?
I have. Just once.
When you leave me in this dream, try to recall what he said. You're in a very special position right now. You have the opportunity to either jump into the wheel again, or be free of dreams forever. Don't waste it. This time, try to make death be the end of you.
We have to get back to the dream.
It's such a shame we have. I wish we could talk more like this, you.
Please, pick a card. The Wheel of Fortune.
Who was that? It's William. Didn't you hear us talk?
I did, but...
So it called you Lila, but you called it William. Well, of course. Film reels that are not needed have to go somewhere. This is where Williams went. I had to pull the same trick on him after what he did in the tower.
You mean?
I mean the one in the forest. The one with the pit and the small projector room where all the previous film reels are lying around.
So, you had the reel.
What's it for, really? Depends on who's steering. I tend to get rid of them. Will, on the other hand, likes to place them on the projector again.
Peculiar.
Justice.
So, a place where we first met. You might not know it, but I've been watching you intently, Lila. From the moment William woke up in his apartment, right until the end.
So, did it help you?
Not yet. I'm still not quite sure. If I'm being frank, I have almost no damn idea about what happened before or after this day.
I appreciate your bluntness, Detective. Does it feel right that William's most likely going to be prosecuted?
I'm not sure. You see, at that point I didn't know William that well. To be quite honest with you, I feel a bit cheated. I'm not sure if the way it ended was the victory of good, or a terrible mistake.
Too bad, Detective. Not unlike me, you don't seem to be easily satiable. Maybe we could talk over some more cards.
Sure.
Anyways, where was I again? Oh yeah, right!
I think he's alright now, Dr. Hades. A very lucky young man, no, to fall from such a high roof and not even break anything. Was he on drugs? No. Blood samples show he's clear. Nothing. Not even alcohol. I think he needs rest now.
The sky is a light gray of one tone. So bright it's almost white. A sterile hospital bed A white nightstand. It's empty. Ward 33. So I've been meaning to ask you, when I'm not, like, visually imposing you, where do you go? Well, nowhere really. I just stop, you know? Being. Oh. Must be really scary. No, not really. You do it all the time too, Will. When you lose consciousness, or when you sleep without dreams. So, not existing is like being asleep. It's not really like anything, as there isn't anyone for whom it's like something. Not being doesn't really happen to anybody per se. Well, you just said it happens to me sometimes. It's very bold of you to assume that some you actually exists. But Lila, you're not making any sense now. I am here. I'm talking to you. Is that so? And how would you describe that I? I don't know, like I'm young and maybe overanalyzing, and I really like lemon soda, and I broke my knee when I was in kindergarten. So you are your personality and your memories. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. Floor 1. You see, Will, there's a problem with what you just said. Oh yeah? Yes. Let's pretend for a moment you're right. And you really are your personality, memories, and so on. But isn't the one listening to me right now also you? Huh? Sure. And the one seeing me is you. And the one feeling all the different things is you. Let's call this you the perceiver. Uh-huh. We like to imagine the perceiver as a pupil of an eye. The perceiver may cast his gaze upon anything. Colors or sounds, touch or feelings. But how do you imagine it looking at itself directly? A mirror? Oh, I wouldn't trust the mirror, my dear William. The ghosts on the other side may only look like us. So, alright, in that sense it really can't. The pupil can never see itself. So what? It means that whatever the pupil can perceive is not it. You can analyze your memories and your personality, yet the real perceiver always stays in the shadows. One of his human names is the Prince. Although he really doesn't have a name, of course. In that sense, there isn't really a difference between you and other people, Will. Huh? What do you mean? For you, where do other people exist? I mean, their minds, memories, and so on. In their heads? Wrong. You have no ability to see what's inside somebody's head. To you, people are a fictitious creation, a number of expectations generated from their actions, a phantom existing exclusively in your head. And the funny thing is, your own personality is too. What? I'm real, Lila. Even if other people may be imagined by me, my own character What's the definition of imaginary? Something that exists just in my mind. And where does your personality reside? It's alright, my sweet William. You, your memories, your mind, these are only temporary shards of colored glass. The visioner, the perceiver, the prince may only look through them and imagine for a moment that he is these shards. He never truly becomes them, and it's surprising how quickly he may look from one to another. Remember, Will, the moment he looks at another one of them, he might think he's someone different.
As you stare at the veil before you, you are filled with emotions of strange nostalgia.
The curtains flapped in the wind, yet you don't feel a draft. A hauntingly beautiful melody can be heard from behind it. For a moment, you can't help but gaze at the shriveling fabric. looking apparatus. Strange. Apart from projecting, it looks like it's also somehow receiving its own image. Seems like its reels are detachable. If at this point you haven't unlocked the Wheel of Fortune ending, if you interact with the reel, and then make your way down to the boat and row down the river, you will receive the ending, the Fool. In this state you can also just head straight to the boat without touching the projector, leaving Lila playing, getting the High Priestess ending. But if you've gotten Wheel of Fortune before coming here, when you interact with the projector, instead of just taking Lila's off, you place William's on, displaying the text, "Lila must be gone now." Once we're back in the menu, it's time for another talk with you. In tarot, this is my favorite card. The Fool. I get what you're saying. Too bad we're here now. Yes, it seems like whatever William did there didn't really help. Still, I like to imagine him some other place. As clear-minded and childlike as the Fool. Not remembering and not assessing the junk around him. Just being. That's why you envy us, isn't it? You can't do that yourself, and you rely on food we humans give you. I don't envy anybody, you. There's no use in comparing stupid glass shards, even if you think one of them is yours. The High Priestess. So, just who are you, Lila? Oh, I'm Will's Tulpa. He made me after the passing of his mother to... Oh, wait. No, I'm the vengeful spirit of the girl named Tanya Kennedy, and... Oh, no, wait. I'm a scientific experiment conducted by the US government to brainwash its citizens to... Or am I a metaphor for mental abuse that everybody's already seen about 100 times already? Or am I a twisted incarnation of Will's dark tormented psyche? Ooh, which one is it, detective? Playful as usual, I see. Don't worry, Lila. I won't stop until I find out. Even if it means I'm feeding you in the process. Please do, my friend. The Hanged Man. I thought you'd be gone after that. Well, it takes a bit more than getting rid of that stupid reel. That film reel was created by William, but I'm not contained in it. It only resembles me a little bit. Just like that bitch Tanya. Why do you look like her? Does everyone see you the same way? The worms of Lawrence do. But there are some who can see better than others. Alright, I swear, we're in the home stretch. Buckle up. Now that we have a basic understanding of what Lila is, and don't worry if you weren't paying attention, Lila appears to be possessing William's body. She appears to be what's called a tulpa, which is a type of wham that's created by a small group of people or even an individual person by a spiritual practice and intense concentration. Based off of her conversations with Will and you, Lila seems to sustain herself in some way, shape, or form entirely off of the attention given to her by human beings, which is why Lila says that she expects an exquisite feast when Yu says that he's not going to stop until he knows the whole story. Now that we're a little more caught up, it's time to install the Daemon to get a little more answers. This is the Daemon. In case you forgot, this is the servitor that the Emperor was talking about. He's a separate program that can be installed with the game that triggers during a couple different points throughout the map to give us a little more insight on what's going on. And also adds this. This is Tanya's locker key, and before we go snooping around in it, we might as well read our diary. July 13th. I've been helping out at the little farm near Father Lawrence's church. I'm not sure what he needs all those animals for, though. No one from the Brethren seems to be eating them, yet some animals disappear after some time. Is he breeding and selling them or something? It's confusing. July 14th. They say I'm pretty good with Lila's enforcement. Father Lawrence told me not to write her name down, but I'd rather trust her than him. I think the others may be jealous since she started talking to me so quickly. A part of the page is torn. September 12th. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Tulpas are a very personal thing. It can't be that their Lila is the same as mine. It's just a part of me. It can't be connected to them. We're not connected. September 15th. She scared me today, by the way. Lila did. She started talking about the prince and stuff. She has her own idea of how things like personalities and egos work. I don't believe her. But for a moment, I felt really lost and unsure of what my me really consists of. Lila, when you'll be reading this, don't scare me like that again. I'm already becoming kind of unsure about this whole thing. Still love you, though. There's a bunch of pages torn. November 20th. It can't be they just look similar. It's her. I forgot for a time, but I recall her face. It's her. It cannot be not her. December 3rd. Today's the day. Today's the day. Once you make your way to school into the main hallway, you can pretty easily find Tanya's locker, where you'll find the following. Among other things, the old sticky note reads, "Oh, and Graves, don't forget to check out my Twitter. My name is Tanya Kennedy 1899. The link is now copied to your clipboard." And this has to be the most vile and evil trick of them all. You see, you actually have to go on Twitter.com, where we find the password for her phone, which contains her address and a couple of conversations.
You are in great danger, girl. Call me or visit my website at...
Link blocked. 1 week ago, 6:20 p.m. Gorge, you there? Yeah, sorry. Just texted Martha about, yeah. So what was that dream you had? You wanted to tell me. Remember? Yeah. It was a cool one. I was like, this gorgeous woman. Sitting among poppies and roses and a myriad of other flowers which I didn't know the name of. Completely nude. And there was this faint music playing in the air. And like, my hair was golden for some reason. Completely golden. I was combing them with a beautiful comb adorned with many little symbols. I think it was copper. Holy shit, that's a detailed dream. Did it end there? No. After a while, I've noticed something strange. It was like one of the poppies was different from the rest. Its bud was hanging lower than the others, and as I came closer to it, as I turned to look inside, it turned out there was a mirror inside of it. I've seen by my own face, but, the eyes in the mirror were insane. They weren't mine. They were... You quickly delete the remaining messages. You delete the chat without reading. 2 months ago. 9:45 p.m. It's alright, you don't have to like them. I know it's alright, and I don't. Especially Danny. I got you. He's a jerk and a fuckboy. I don't get why you're still letting him fuck with Martha's feelings. I'll talk to him. I don't care at this point. Come on, don't be like that now. 2 months ago. It's because I'm a fucking failure, Mike. Stop saying that about yourself. Come on, Mike. Face it. Can't you see it at least? I'm not blind. I see how you're suffering. From all the shit I'm doing to you. Look, I don't care about that. I know you love me, and I love you. Isn't that what matters? Are you stupid? Mike. There's no way I deserve to be loved like that. By anyone. Out of all people, you don't need a burden like me. Bullshit. I love you. We all do. Wanna call? I'm going to bed. 1 week ago. Where are you? Look, I know you don't want to talk, babe, but come on. You can't play with me like this. I'm going crazy here. Where the fuck are you? Tanya. 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 1 week ago. 2:30 a.m. Don't come, I changed my mind. What the hell, dude? Now I'm totally coming. Will? You alright? Not joking. I don't want to see you anymore. Please, don't come. Dude, I can see something's wrong. I don't care. I know you're scared and trying to push me away again. I'll be waiting for you there. Don't come if you don't want to, but I'll be there. After you're done snooping around in her phone, you can head to Tanya's address where you're greeted with this scene. But this is so wrong, isn't it? I guess so, yeah. Do you love me, Will? Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. What's wrong? I'm sorry, it just felt weird to say that. For some reason. I mean, I get it. If I were you, I wouldn't trust myself either. No. It's not about that. You just remind me of someone I knew. Is that so? Honestly, I feel a bit offended. But after what I did to Mike, I don't really deserve anything better, do I? But aren't you Lila? Huh? What was that you said? Aren't you Lila? If that's a joke, I don't get it. Who's Lila? Some girl you like? No. No, it's... I don't remember who that is. I don't remember. Will? Will, are you alright? Will? Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright. My face just doing its shenanigans again, I guess. Don't worry, dear. It's difficult for me to express emotions. I envy other people. They make faces naturally. But I have to make a conscious decision. Something's wrong. What the hell is going on, Will? Tell her to be quiet. Will's not here anymore. Please, be quiet. Everything's alright. What's gotten into you? What? This is a prank. Don't even bother calling me after that. What the fuck is in your arms? I don't understand, William. This is too much. It's... You don't look like him at all. Will, what's happened to you? See, Will? This is what you get for trying to get rid of me. Watch carefully. You can begin. Sure. There's no need to scream, Tanya.
You look very cute today. Don't scream.
The lovers. Poor William. He deserved it, you. After all, killing that bitch was his idea. I don't believe you. Why not, detective? Will thought she was me, and I guess he hated me that much. He thought I came back for him. I only helped him finish what he started. Will is not a killer. Aside from lovers, the Daemon is actually used to get one more ending, and it involves going back to Father Lawrence's apartment. Today is November 16th. My name is William, and I've come here to investigate a recent fire that happened in an apartment complex nearby. I used to call this place my second home. What happened here? It smells like dust and ashes.
Who is it? I must have dreamt it.
Father Lawrence? Is that you?
Lawrence. Lawrence. That is what they called the last vessel, wasn't it? William. Is that you, William?
Yes, it's me. Father Lawrence, where are you? What happened? I thought you died in that fire. Where are you?
I'm at a strange place, my dear William. But we deserve this. I should have never tricked you all. My egoism has led to their death and to your consequent suffering. A turn of the wheel.
What do you mean, Father Lawrence?
She mustn't continue what I started. I thought the Empress was the one to, seize her, but Lila seems to be way too clever to fall victim to such tricks. There's another way. Right again.
That was the name of your colleague, right?
Yes, I was too foolish and power-hungry, I suppose, but now it's all in vain. You are the only one I don't want to suffer from it. So here's the code you seek. It's from the desktop computer that I used. You will find all of the information there. 6, 4, 7.
This document contains a single URL. https://wordsofrubicon.card.co. The link is now in your clipboard. Here are the words of Professor F.I. Rubicon. Imagine if humans, rather than being generators of consciousness, were in a sort of parasitic relationship with it. What if the consciousness was an underlying inseparable factor of reality, existing outside of and unconditioned by human brains? We know animals don't possess consciousness. How did humans come about it, and why does Professor Rubicon find the word possessed to be inaccurate in this context? The existence of hard problems of consciousness, look here, among other things suggests that consciousness in fact cannot be understood through traditional scientific means. A correlation between electric impulses and conscious phenomena is evident, yet how can we even begin to categorize the raw feelings? That is different from any physical phenomena we have ever researched. Thus, it is not unreasonable to assume consciousness to be a quality that exists unrelated to the meat machines of the brains. Such perspective was prevalent even among the older ones, so a term has emerged, the prince. Humans seem to have evolved an analog meat and fluid system, the brain, that conceptually mimics the inner workings of the prince so well that the prince was gradually fooled into thinking that he was looking in a mirror, and when he saw his reflection dance a certain way, he would occasionally think that it would be fun to dance the same way. And that's how the pain and suffering of the prince emerged. Humans, on their own, are nothing. Simple meat machines mimicking the grand consciousness. The grand consciousness, however, grants them the great depths of knowledge by letting them be its host. Thus, the human race prevails. Sometimes a work of art makes so many human mirrors act the same way that the prince thinks that the work is a creature to dance with. A clear example of this case would be Chet Murray. Look here. Chet Murray is the creator of the Data Dog. It is a powerful pictorial agent called a meme in the modern World Wide Web. A blurred version of it can be seen below. It is stated in the article, what began as a harmless picture was later used by a supremacist group consisting primarily of young white male adults. Its insane popularity is difficult to explain, as millions of such pictorial agents have been born every day and forgotten in a matter of minutes. Apart from its illustriousness, this artistic presence has had a rather tragic and ironic fate. It almost seems to have gone completely opposite of the author's intentions, ultimately killing the author by the hands of the supremacist group. That is why the image is blurred. I am not willing to be subject to its wrath. The controlled method of creating the ultra-influencing works of any media. For many years I have worked with my colleague, friend, and low-tier Professor W.A. Lawrence. Since the aforementioned example was made without premeditation and had an effect it had due to pure luck, it is believed that media items of high efficiency can only be created intuitively. This is not true. We have been fooled and controlled by the order of who utilized the artificially crafted mimetic agents in order to control society. Professor Lawrence was the one who devised a generalized method for creating these works and controlling them. The special forces tried to shut him up, but you can't hide the truth from us. Here's a link to his original paper. The password may not be revealed openly, but the daemon knows it. Look at answer.txt, base folder. I trust your judgment. A generalized guide to the creation of ultra-influencing works of any media. This paper aims to provide a reliable guide intended to be used by the consequent leader of the Lawrence fraternity. This study was performed utilizing the method developed by Professor Lawrence and his colleague Professor F.I. Rubicon. Aforementioned means of study, though relentlessly denied by modern neurophysiology, were necessary to negate the known limitation of the rational worldview. The Lawrence method was, among other influences, based on the works of Marcel Gural, practical Tibetan Buddhism, and some practices of Kabbalah and modern Satanism. Literature cited? I'm not reading those sites. First, let us define what we mean by wham. As we know, among centuries, a work of art would often surface, the popularity and meaning of which would often go beyond its author's expectations and beliefs. Such an item would oftentimes be extremely relatable or otherwise influential for almost each and every one of its consumers. After gathering enough popularity, the item would often act as though it had a mind of its own. Such behavior, although only seeming conscious, would almost always ensure the item's relative longevity and effectiveness in social manipulations. For obvious reasons, many individuals, mages, and secret orders have attempted to create and control such items with varying degrees of success. With the growing spread of the World Wide Web, the wham has taken on many new forms. They now possess a generally lower lifespan, however, vary in effects much more than their predecessors. We may see ideas, zeitgeist reflections, infectious personalities, and so on. They all go under the generalized term meme. We must not confuse those with the orthodox social engineering tools such as online propaganda, however, the two often go hand in hand. When not made by accident, the inherently occult wham requires a very specific process of creation and nurturing. As stated in many outrageous conspiracy theories, the FBI are known to use them. This partially explains the recently uncovered Farm Fields project. We, the Fraternity of Lawrence, and I, W.A. Lawrence personally, aim to utilize the wham for the good of humanity. I, myself, am willing to transcend the human condition in order to... The naturally appearing human-created whams are no rare phenomenon. However, such methodology introduces severe limitations to the practice. 1. Unpredictability. It's almost impossible to tell whether the new spheric imprints produced by humans have the qualities of a wham. Commonly, the main condition for such an imprint to acquire the expected infectiousness is the patronage of an accordingly powerful new sphere dweller. Some artists and creators do indeed use certain in order to contact the dwellers, however the results do not seem to show an increase in controllability and often lead to the complete annihilation of the author. Due to the deity adopting and or temporarily inhabiting the wham, its behavior remains at the whims of the new sphere dweller, as contact and control over the existing entities is out of question. It's almost impossible to tell the ways in which a wham's life cycle will unravel. As a solution to the glaring problems, the Lawrence Fraternity offers a method manufacturing an artificial new sphere dweller, surrogate mother of the controllable whams. The methodology was carefully extracted mainly from the works of Marcel Grial. Grial was an Africanist, researching the life and mythology of the Dogon people. One of his most important discoveries was the instrumental use of a certain family of mushrooms called Tet. The Dogons seem to have formed a way to communicate with one of the more suitable high-class new sphere deities. For security purposes, we will not disclose its real name and will refer to it as Snake Eyes. By modifying the traditional rituals of the Dogons, we were able to develop a reliable process for creating our own artificial new sphere dweller. As the newly created dweller needs a psychic base for its existence, we needed to gather a group of people who, for the purpose of the experiment, were all told to create a tulpa with a predetermined appearance. While brethren believed that the individual tulpas belonged only to them and didn't have any way of contacting each other, the very starting conditions have led to the birth of a psychic creature that persisted beyond the individual minds. From now on, the creature will be referred to as L. The combined vision of her character would form an ever-changing yet relatively lively new sphere dweller that was completely artificial in nature. We were sure not to accidentally invite any existing deity to the process, as it would introduce an uncontrollable consequence. The existing archetypes are considered by far the most powerful and least controllable new sphere dwellers. History shows cases of large-scale calamities induced by trying to use the archetypes of the for example. This is so due to their universality. The more people know about a dweller, the more characteristics as well as psychic energy it borrows. Thus, some archetypes, which exist in every person's mind from birth, should be kept completely out of the discussion. They would be way too powerful and unpredictable. The artificial dweller we created was given vampiric behavioral qualities due to better controllability. In order for L to exist, it needs a fixed amount of so-called psychic energy. In the more primitive times, the main way of releasing it was human sacrifice. As the human race developed, ancient Egyptians were the first to acquire a sort of psychic accumulator. Instead of archaic human murder, they would use a more quantitative, yet less powerful method of animal sacrifice. We utilize the same technique in order to feed L. For these reasons, the brethren have a functioning cattle critter farm. In the unlikely scenario that we lose control over L, all the necessary steps for regaining it are described in the locked document on the main computer. The password for the document is First Gold. The instructions regarding complete elimination of the artificial new dweller are present in the same file. As a result of our efforts, we were able to successfully implement a stable wham pipeline. A detailed report on each created wham, their effectiveness, evaluation, and lifespans can be found at... Presented here are some of the more prominent items. It's the remainder of the document you've read before. Emergency handling. In the unlikely case of L going out of control, it's useless trying to regain control. Kill her. Yes, you've read that correctly, my dear William. Lila needs to be no more. The only way to stop her existence is by getting rid of all of her hosts. Anybody who who has ever come in contact with her is a potential host. After all, if nobody knows about her, she can feed off their energy. But without human hosts, she can't do anything. She's a construct of thought, unable to live independently of people's knowledge of her. Remember that, Will.
So a Hierophant. Will has come a long way to learn the truth behind the fraternity, didn't he? Yeah, right. A lot of hoop jumping just to learn what I could already have told him myself. By the way, you. That fire was your men's job, wasn't it? Yes. It was us. Obviously, Lawrence was aware of the FBI knowing of UIWAM. Moreover, we have been utilizing them proactively for the last 10 or 15 years. We were a bit late with the fire, though. Now Lawrence is in a place where there is no time at all. So it was you lot who stole all my food. He called Lawrence when I was asleep. I know. What did they talk about? Did he read what was in the secret file? Come on, detective. You know I'm curious. What was written here? I'm not sure if you're playing with me here, Lila. You are a haze, composed of many human minds intersecting. A construct of thoughts of many hosts. Wait, how'd you... As long as there are humans who know about you, as long as you have hosts, you can't be killed. So, are you going to just... There doesn't seem to be a different way to do it. I'm so sorry, Whoa, huh? Black. Oh god, the game crashed.
Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. I don't know how you did it or how you put up with me, but it's pretty clear that you at least like this game a little bit. So I just wanted to reinstate that if you don't have money to actually just go buy the game yourself to play it, you should go watch ManlyBadAssHero play the whole thing. I'm pretty sure he played the whole thing. Don't quote me on that. Aside from that, I just wanted to, again, thank you guys for watching this video. It took the better part of 3 days to make, and I know that doesn't sound too bad, but this is like an hour-long video, and I was genuinely working on this from like dawn to dusk, because I wanted to meet my personal deadline for it for Valentine's Day, which I didn't, which made me just work even harder on it once the deadline came and gone. So if you even somewhat enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, shit like that. I don't fucking care. Just interact with it somehow. It helps my views. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And also, because obviously this is late, I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day, and I hope you also got that little bit of ass that I was talking about, because I know I sure didn't.